You know how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast, so if you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot, turn this off before you get butthurt and mad, start to cry, have to run to your safe space. All opinions are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any government agency. Welcome back to another episode of MOTORCOP Chronicles Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the Iceman, and I'm in the clubhouse. We do have a special guest. He's not in the clubhouse. We got him snuck in via satellite secret UFO phone. But he's on the telephone, and he is in the great state of Florida. So we're going to welcome Holstera to the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
You know, me and this fella have known each other for, I don't even know how many years it's been now. It's been a long
time.
It's been
a long time.
It's been a long time, and we've never met each other in person.
No.
So
yeah, that's wild. We made plans, but
yeah,
of course, COVID happened, and that couldn't happen.
But he's pretty far in Florida, and I'm over here. I'll give a little background. We actually met playing. Which battlefield was it? Was it 3?
Oh shoot! It just crossed over. I think it was 3. Either met at the end of 2 or the beginning of 3, and it took off.
We met on PlayStation online, playing Battlefield, and became friends. And yeah, we played. We used to spend entire weekends until I don't think we'd sleep sometimes playing Battlefield.
No, stay up all night playing video games and go to work. Yeah.
He was the Hellman chopper pilot, which was damn good. I was the repair man, and until they nerfed shit. And I was actually I took pictures of it because somebody believed me, even if it was an old man. I was actually number 1 in the state of Louisiana for the longest time on repairs, and I think I was number 9 in the United States on the PlayStation in repairs too for a while.
Yeah, so I was number 7 in the world as a pilot.
So we were actually ranked at one point in time, which was funny because I think I was in my 40s at the time. I think you're only like 23 or something like that. So.
Something like that. Well, which was funny because after all that good stuff, they ended up sending me a free copy of, what was it, Hardline, the law enforcement one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they sent me a free copy of it for being that high ranked.
Yeah,
of course, I never did any good on that game.
No, well, not when you can get run over by a couch.
Yeah,
so,
couches
pissed me off.
Cops have RPGs in the trunk of the car.
But that's our backstory. That's how we met. He was Holstera was still in law enforcement at the time. He's since left the profession for private business, but he was in law enforcement for I don't know how many years total you had.
Oh shoot, 8. Yeah.
So he wised up, got out of it, and don't have to wear a gun to work anymore.
When it got hairy.
But so that's our backstory on how we met. Tell us something about your experience and what you have, a little background on you.
Oh, my background?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've worked for a couple of departments ranging from, my smaller department only had 7 people on it, and the dog's badge number was higher than mine. That was amazing.
Outranked you.
The way. Yeah, the dog literally outranked me. I never got over that fact. But needless to say, I went from there. I've worked for a PD that had 3,000 officers, and then ended up working for the federal government. And believe it or not, it's not all it's cracked up to be. The money's good, but boring. Very, very boring. If you're used to the daily grind of going to calls or, sitting there stalking somebody on radar and stroking out a citation, and you go to babysitting a facility or say a ship or something along those things, making sure that people don't jump off of the ship and now they're wet foot, dry foot. That got boring, so I left it, and now I'm a tax man.
Yeah, he does. He's owns a tax business, a service, and he's been doing my taxes for quite a few years now too. I actually send my stuff to him via email in Florida and do my taxes, and he's very good at it. So I always ask a few questions, just icebreaker type things. When you were in law enforcement, were you a 10-mile-an-hour over guy, or were you a 15?
I was a 15. If I popped you for doing 10, you had a pretty good chance you weren't going to get a ticket. That was more of an exploratory stop. I would use those for other things like, making sure everybody in the car ain't got a warrant. But 15 over, there's no excuse for it. When they were doing that kind of stuff, especially in the smaller jurisdiction I worked for, that was a major no-no. And in that particular
writing tickets, or
yeah, no, it wasn't a no not to write a ticket. Trust me, with the smaller PDs, they want you to stroke out as many as possible.
That's strange. That's how you get money.
Yeah, no, speeding was the no. So the weird thing is, I don't know why the county or whoever did it, but it was on this gigantic curve. When I say gigantic, I mean the curve was about 10, 11 miles long. And at a certain point in it, it goes from 65, 45, 25 within so many hundreds of feet.
That's like a speed trap.
Exactly. And then that's where we sit right at the end. So, if somebody was still doing 15 over by the time they got to that last sign, they were booking when they were at the 65. So we would usually stroke them out. But right there at that intersection, it's little small town. Everybody's just kind of going, right on red, not really paying attention. So somebody doing that kind of speed, it caused a lot of damage. We've had multiple pileups at intersections. So we tried to stop it before they got too far into it.
Okay. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite what?
Movie.
My favorite movie. You know what? I love all movies. It's unless I don't. If I hate it, it sucks. And everybody
that
says
movie
it
sucks. That like you're scrolling through the TV channel and it happens to be on TV and you just have to stop and watch it, even though you've seen it 1,000 times.
Probably Scarface, to tell you the truth. It's old school, legendary. I remember the first time I watched it, and it's either that or one of the RoboCop series.
RoboCop 1 was the best one. They got kind of stupid after that.
Yeah, I keep telling my teenager we need to stop, sit down and watch Judge Dredd.
Yeah, people make fun of me. I actually enjoyed it. I am the law. So,
I am the law. Yeah, that's one of those things.
I actually enjoyed it, and Sandra Bullock in spandex is pretty nice to look at anyway.
All the whole chest of golden plates.
Yes.
Yeah, like it makes no functionality, makes sense. It just, if you got into an altercation with a suspect and all that weight on your chest it's gonna bog you down a bit.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, so you got this V in your chest that's bulletproof, and what about everything else? Like they're gonna shoot your dick off. So,
right? Because you can clearly see it through the spandex.
Because you're running around with yoga pants on.
I don't know why that's a part of the uniform.
I don't know. I couldn't be like, I was like, you can't arrest me. You got yoga pants on. You're a dude.
Could you imagine if they changed the uniform designs to that?
I wouldn't be surprised at coming up. A nice, light pastel purple color, so it's not so offensive as black or something like that.
That's coming. I could see it. But I mean, some of these uniform pants, the Class A's and stuff, are already so tight.
Well, my motor pants are tight. So.
Well, yeah, it's just because you like them boots that go all the way up to your,
some motor pants. You got to wear the motor boots. I haven't actually recently even riding lately. I mean, I need some new motor boots, and of course, they're expensive as hell because I have big ass calves. So my boots are like $700 a pair. I told them I needed some. I haven't got around to order them, so I just been wearing my Class Bs. And actually, my department is going to like I think they call it they call it a hybrid uniform, where it's like a Class A B combined. It can either be Class B or A. Like you can change the shirt with your brass and stuff on it or not. So, but it's the same pants either way, and it's kind of like a hybrid type Class A BDU pant combined. So,
Oh, they need to just switch you guys over to those Reno 911 shorts.
I tried those, and I'm getting older, and my left nut's a little longer than my right one, and it keeps hanging out the shorts. Every time I sat down, my nut would come out, and it was they said it was not appropriate. Me sitting on a motorcycle, and one time it got sunburnt, and it was uncomfortable. So
sunburnt testicle.
yes,
Yeah, I can imagine
it
that
was uncomfortable, and sunburnt.
God.
I mean, SPF 100 on it next time. So no, it didn't, and they just rubbed wrong,
Yeah.
with the thongs.
That's basic.
Like that. It was horrible. Yeah, it was bad. So, what is your favorite drink?
To wake up or put me down.
Your just favorite beverage. It can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. What is your go-to?
My go-to is a Red Bull every morning. Get me hopping. Got to have my 20 ounce. Just love it. That's, I used to drink No Fear, and then I guess they stopped making them or something. I don't know what was wrong with it. But yeah, I always had a 12-pack of those jokers in my cruiser in a cooler.
Well, I recently, yesterday, tried it because I saw a TikTok on it, and they said it was delicious, so I had to try it. Of course, they used Screwball. I went and bought, and I'm not a big Red Bull drinker. I've never been a fan of them, but I went and bought the blueberry Red Bull.
Oh yeah,
and I put
not bad.
I put the Old Smoky peanut butter whiskey in it.
I reckon that would work.
Oh no, it more than worked. It was delicious. Very, very good. Of course, I'm a big fan. I've tasted, I think, almost every brand of the peanut butter flavored whiskeys I have found. Screwball.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think I've ever had a peanut butter whiskey.
Well, the Screwball brand is more the higher end. It is good, but
It tastes like mostly peanut butter? Or?
It tastes like peanut butter. And
no kidding.
Yes, and they there's a brand out there. I'm not going to say the name. I actually can see the bottle because I have a bottle of it to get. And it was a peanut butter brand. And let's put it this way: it kind of looks like it's got a red and white label on it. And
okay.
Don't buy it. It's not good. Okay, and like I said, you usually get what you pay for. If you're gonna buy a 16 bottle of whiskey, or you're gonna buy, $20, $30, $40, $120 bottle of whiskey, you get what you pay for. But, well,
that's it. I've always been a JD man myself. I like Jack.
I like Jack's just kind of my norm. Now, if I'm a big Woodford guy. I love the Woodford Reserve.
Okay.
But you put that I drink that on some ice. Just chill it. It's a little. It's not the highest end. It's on the higher end of it. Elijah Craig is real good. But I've drank some real high ends, but you don't mix those. But they're more of a luxury. You sit around and put it on some rocks, and just sit there and socialize. Yeah, and anyway, I found the Old Smoky brand, which everybody knows I talk about all the time. No, they don't sponsor me. They fucking need to, so I talk about them enough. But the Old Smoky brand I found has the most peanut butter flavor to it. So, but right now, my go-to, which I have been drinking now for months, I every now and then I'll drink some of the peanut butter, but my go-to right now still is the salty watermelon. And the only people I've seen that makes a salty watermelon flavored whiskey is Old Smoky. Because I've looked, because I'll give everybody a chance, but they're the only ones that I've seen that make the salty watermelon. Talked about it on Wednesday night. Go back and listen to my new mixture on it. It is fucking phenomenal. It tastes like
watermelon whiskey.
Well,
I can't be the only one of your followers that just can't fathom how that would be a combination.
Telling you, salty watermelon flavored whiskey.
And it tastes like watermelon.
Yes, and well, I take a regular size Yeti cup or metal stainless steel cup. We just say Yeti because that's what everybody calls them. The full size, that's about 30 ounce, I guess. Fill it up with ice. I put 2 shots of the whiskey in it, 1 shot of the sour mix. I recently found at Walmart they have a cranberry watermelon flavored cranberry juice. I just put 3 shots of that, and I was using a lemon lime soda because we're not using Sprite because Coca-Cola makes them and we don't consume Coca-Cola products. So you use 7-Up or lemon lime flavor. I was using that. But Crush, I saw, actually has a watermelon flavored soda.
Yeah, they do.
And
it's actually pretty good.
So I removed the Sprite and I added the watermelon flavored soda. I finished it off with that. You stir it, you drink it, and like I said Wednesday, even Bam liked it. It tastes like a fucking watermelon Jolly Rancher, which can be quite dangerous because it's a 40 proof whiskey over it. I mean, it's 40% alcohol whiskey. So I think it's like 7. I don't know proof on it.
Yeah, so that's up there with Jack.
Yeah, so and so you're drinking it and you taste no alcohol in it. So that makes it
that's dangerous.
Extremely dangerous. But it is so good. I'm telling you, if you get it and try it, you're gonna thank me.
I'm not really one for it. Sounds like you're taking manly drinks and making them frou-frou.
It's not frou-frou. It's delicious.
I made myself a spritzer.
No, it's not a spritzer. It's not
no, because you're using whiskey, so it'll give you a kick.
It's good.
Definitely not.
Hey, every now and then. Now I did take the apple flavored Crown, and I don't know if you've seen it. They have a blue Pepsi out now. It's like a mixed berry flavored Pepsi. It's called Blue Pepsi. And I got one of those, and I put the watermelon. I mean, not the watermelon. The apple Crown in the blue Pepsi, and it was fucking great. Also, it was just the blue Pepsi and the Crown, just like if you do Crown and Coke or whatever.
See, now I hear that. Now I'm going to tell you one that you've got to try, and I'll tell you, I stumbled across it. That's a lie. One of my buddies that he comes up and stays with me during the tax season and works for me. He did it one night, and he goes, "Dude, you're not going to believe this. Take a sip." And I'm not much of a Mountain Dew guy, but what he did was he's a heavy pourer. I am too. He took, Jack Daniels makes an apple.
Yes.
So he took the Jack apple and mixed it with a can of Mountain Dew. So
I can see.
Let me explain what it tastes like. You remember the little push-up pops that the kids get from the store and put it in the freezer?
Yeah, you eat ice cream out of a toilet paper roll. Yeah, I remember.
No, not that one. The clear plastic with the liquid inside.
Oh, you talking about I call them just Freezy Pops. Yeah.
Okay, Freezy Pops. You know the green one, the apple one?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how that Jack and Mountain Dew taste.
Oh, I can see how that tastes good.
And I mean, it was amazing, but I told him I can't do it. That'd be way too dangerous. Jack is way too strong to be drinking when you can't taste it.
Well, I also since we're not, I really like the salty caramel ones. What I want to do, I haven't tried it yet. This is the idea I had, and I'm sure somebody else has done it. But I wanted to get the vanilla Crown that they make. Okay. And put it in root beer and see if it kind of tastes like a root beer float.
Well, at that point, just add ice cream. You got your.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. I wonder if it's going to taste kind of like a root beer float kind of thing going on there.
Maybe, but you got to use Barks. I found that all these other brands that are releasing root beer are just they just don't equal.
Look, the Asian lover who's been a guest several times. Last time he was here. He brought me a 6-pack of Abita root beer, and it's fucking phenomenal.
Well, you make your own, don't you?
Well, yeah, but mine I make's not carbonated. So if you want carbonated, right. You got, but the Abita Barks is awesome, but Abita root beer is also awesome. But I don't know if that's just something local in Louisiana or not.
You saying Beta like
Abita,
like Bravo? Abita.
Yeah, they have an Abita beer here. It's from Abita Springs. It's a small town here, but they have a beer they make. They make a root beer also.
Oh, kid.
But it's really good. But I want to try that. So, well, one of my other guests had sent me a message a while back, a female, and she had tried the peanut butter and really liked it, but she sent me a thing where she did it. You take Godiva chocolate liqueur and mix it with the peanut butter whiskey, and it tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
No, that'd be good.
So
I'm all about Reese's cups.
I mean, I did that. It's more of a shot, but it was really good also. All right, so it's going off on a tangent on whiskey here.
We digress.
We like our whiskey, and it's
Right.
really when I can't tell you. I haven't even got a buzz in so long. It's pathetic. I guess I'm because of my alcoholic. Because usually if I do drink, it's like one or two drinks and that's it. I just drink it because I like the taste of it now.
Yeah, but you've been so busy with work and home and this.
I remember there's quite a few times me and you got lit up while we were playing some of those online games.
Oh, yeah. And I'm convinced we actually played better.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but
everybody always says they think they play better, but no, our scores actually went up.
Yeah. Except when we got really bored and we'd sit at home base and fuck with other people.
Yeah, putting C4 on the spawn vehicles so the minute they pull out of the deployment, we can launch
shoot
it
them
into
across
the
the map and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, we were some assholes too, but it was fun.
But we got bored. Hey, when you're that high on the on the charts, what am I going to do? Play another lobby and whip the crap out of everybody? Yeah.
Except for every now we come across some little 12-year-old that would be really good and cocky and end up, I think I got somebody told me I needed to calm down one time because I told some kid to get off of there. It was past his bedtime and it was time for his dad to molest him or something like that. So he was like, I mean, this little kid was like taking us both out like I was like, it was crazy. It was aggravating the shit out of us. I was like, this little motherfucker.
Well, yeah, because they would always do things like hiding on the other side of the map behind a building.
No, that was
and
our
you
friend.
Can't get to them.
That was our friend we used to play with. His gamer tag was Brooklyn Goon.
Yeah.
He loved to play sniper, and that fucker would get on the other team and go hide and shoot us in the head every time we tried to move somewhere. So we'd take the whole game to finally sneak around him to cut his throat, if you remember. Yeah,
no, he was good, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He was a good sniper. He wasn't one of these that sits up there and doesn't kill anybody. He actually would, all of a sudden, he'd just be, Holstera, there's a guy behind you, and pop, there goes the guy behind me.
Yeah.
And you have no idea where the round came from.
We had some good times. And
oh, yeah.
So let's give me a story. Start out whichever one you want to start out with.
Well, we'll start off with the one I was explaining to you. All right. So this has been quite a few years back. Obviously, I've been off patrol for a while, but I was with this one large department. It was not a small department. It was a very large department. And I was a supervisor at the time. And all of a sudden, a call for service went out. And that, if you understand, like, districts, how they break everything up, it was real weird that they were asking me to respond to that area. And it wasn't until I realized where it was. It's essentially one of those high-end condo areas where everything's almost an apartment complex, but the condos alone, to even purchase the smallest one, it starts at about $1.5 million. So you have to have some pennies to get in there.
I picked up two of those last week.
Yeah, exactly. You might have actually even been there the night I showed up. Anyway.
I doubt that.
So I get over there, and of course I find 3 patrol units because the call for service stated there's approximately 35 individuals at the pool area. Management told us that nobody lived there. They all were trespassing, and they had music, extremely loud music. So we go in, and I, of course, go through the gate first, and I light up the crowd because here it is. It's about 11, 12 at night. There's, of course, a bunch of people. I hit them with the spotlight, and they kind of turned the music down, and they came towards us. And one of the individuals they're all male. This is an all male pool party, which I didn't think was suspicious at the time. And then all of a sudden,
I want to know, how did you not think
I,
that you were
you
at a
know,
pool party? And I want to know how many of them were in man bikinis.
a good half of them.
Okay.
But some of them were fully dressed. That's the thing, is I didn't understand what was going on, and it was just weird. But I took it as it was for a call for service and figured, hey, maybe they were all trespassing because it's a really nice place. I could see why somebody would want to go and get inside of this pool. The pool even has a water fountain in it. That tells you how quality it is.
They had a bidet in the pool.
Yeah, pretty much a bidet. So all of a sudden, this one guy approaches me, and I'll even use a voice for it because you can't make it up. And he just, Jesus Christ, the strippers are here. And he proceeds to lay his hand on my chest and kind of stroke it. And I immediately
at least it was
back.
your chest he was stroking.
Yeah. No, he'd have done anything else. He'd have been in the pool for sure. Either that or riding the lightning. And I
might
was
have
like,
I don't know what you call it. Maybe he wanted to ride the lightning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we call it, the lightning. Anyway, I told him, I said, excuse me, sir, don't touch me. And he goes, oh, you're frisky, aren't you? And completely, he's seriously thinking that me and the three officers behind me are exotic dancers. We didn't find out until later, but it turns out that this is what that particular group called a coming out party. They had another individual that joined their group, and they were all gay individuals. And apparently they did hire strippers, and they thought we were the dancers. It was something else.
Oh, it was something, all right.
Oh yeah. So all of a sudden I've got
Yeah, it was. So when you got back to your unit after did they turn the music down?
Oh no, they did turn the music down. I explained that to them. I obviously checked some IDs. They turned out they almost all lived there. Management was just too afraid to offend anybody by shutting down this party. I of course did not shut down the party. That's not, nor will it ever be in my job description unless they're doing something illegal. But no, they explained all that good stuff to me. And of course, the guy is still kind of rubbing my arm and everything. And I turn around, I'm thinking my backup officers at some point, where the hell did they go? Well, I've got one rookie sitting there with a cell phone recording this entire thing happening. So somewhere this is on video. And then I've got the other two officers that I've known for years, and they were just sitting there rolling. They were almost on the ground crying, and one of them was bent over laughing. And you
didn't get cold cocked, did you?
No.
With the guy with the ice in his mouth?
But no, we cleared it out. I went back to the cruiser, and I didn't have any ones. Unfortunately, he didn't
counted your money.
Yeah, counted.
Did you believe that guy was trying to give me ones? 20, 40.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't take off this vest for less than 100, buddy. Oh God, yeah, that was something else. I tell you.
So you went back when you got off, or?
No. It was outside of my zone. It's hilarious because it's right across the street from dispatch. But no, I didn't go back. I've been back since. That's a pretty nice place.
To the coming out part. To the coming out part.
No, I didn't go back to the coming out party. No, I'm a happily straight man with 3 beautiful babies. That's not my partay. I wonder
what they actually do on that. If coming is the major word in that coming out party, or be like a fucking just totally sticky situation. I
don't know if it's that all of these individuals, they all live in that building, and they all just wanted to introduce this new individual to the rest of their friends. I don't know. I didn't really stick around to ask. I'm sure I could probably Google it and it would be a thing.
Did they have like a large penis cake or something?
Right. Like pin the penis on the mannequin
It's like,
type deal with blindfold on.
Do you want
I don't know.
the ball or the head? It's your party. You can have which one you want first. So,
Get you a big old cake. Yeah.
well, I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, I'm in Louisiana. Been to New Orleans several times. This was umpteen freaking years ago. Like I said, umpteen years ago. I mean, I think I was in my freaking early 30s or something like that. Anyway, had a blind date. Chick lived inside the city in New Orleans. Went down there, met her first time. I mean, she's an attractive girl and stuff. We'd talked on the phone. That was it. Computer, internet stuff was new. So, I mean, basically you could meet people that didn't have pictures and shit, really.
Yeah, you had to talk.
Yeah. But anyway, went down there, met her, picked her up. We went down to Bourbon Street. Well, we ended up in this bar called Oz, which, if anyone's familiar with New Orleans, it is a gay bar. Which, I'm not homophobic. That did not bother me. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I have my son's homosexual. I don't care. I've never been homophobic. Be who you want to be. That's, if you're a man that likes a man, good for you. If you're a woman that likes a woman,
you do you, I'll do me.
Good for you. I mean, but, also, like I said, I was in a gay bar. She had to go relieve herself. So now I'm standing at the bar by myself. Okay. And yes, I was approached by a man, and he did start coming on to me. But you know what?
Did you just say he was coming?
No, he was, he gave me some compliments, said I was younger then, much better shape. I mean, it's like, oh, you're so attractive. And I'm thinking, I'm going to give her, I'm not, and this guy don't know I'm in a gay environment. So, I mean,
right.
He's automatically going to assume here I am, So, I mean, I can't get mad at this guy.
No.
And, he's not, but it ended up working out because about that time, she came out the bathroom and she saw this guy, like, flirting with me, and she's like, oh, he's with me, and plants this big old wet kiss on me. So it was a great icebreaker at that point for that. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not homophobic because it's pretty cool. They'll take them light sticks and spin them around. Them gay people can party. Okay.
Oh yeah, they can definitely party, and they're fun to hang out
with.
Yes.
So
I've got a few friends myself, and I tell you,
everybody get offended if we make fun of gay people. It's called comedy because
right.
I don't care.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you are or not, but I'm sure gay people make straight jokes. So
absolutely,
sure it is.
Now
So
I want to go back and ask a question because you skipped right over the fact that you ended up at a gay bar. Whose idea was it to go to that particular bar?
It was the females.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
she wanted you to meet her friends or something.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why she wanted to go there. It's where she wanted to go. So that's where we went.
It wasn't your choice.
I mean, maybe she was testing to see if I was some kind of, homophobe or something like that. People do that shit to you. So I don't know. It was one date, one time. I mean, that was all it ended up being. She found out later, she was like, nothing against her. She was a little weirder than I prefer. She was not she was come out and told me she's some witch with Wiccan and all kinds of way above whatever I was, hey, she can do her.
Yeah, not in New Orleans. I'm sorry. There's way too many of them queens down there.
We had a good time, and I made a new friend, and hope she's having a good life wherever she's at now. I mean, she didn't cast any spells on me or nothing like that, so I got out of there in one piece.
Yeah, that's the important part. How do you break up with somebody that you're in a relationship with that's a witch?
Well, we weren't in a relationship. It was a blind date.
Gotcha. No, I meant like if it would have progressed and you became in a relationship, you can't just tell a girl that's a witch, I don't love you no more. That's how you wake up and all your hair's falling out.
You got a dick growing out your ear or something like that.
Exactly. So, I'm glad we're on the same page.
It can be pretty bad. I mean, so be careful if you're dating a witch. Not a bitch, a witch. Be careful.
Close in resemblance, but not always the same.
No, they're way different. If you're dating a bitchy witch, now you really got fucking problems.
Of course, yeah, that's an issue.
So we talked about, you got any naked stories? Because Freebird, Freebird, my great buddy. I texted him today. We all know I talked about, Mrs. Freebird did pass away, unfortunately, early, early at a young age. He's hanging in there, still having a hard time on days, and he's my brother, and I love him, and eventually get him back on here, and he's going through it right now. So if you're religious, pray for him. If you're not, just keep him in your, have good thoughts for him anyway. But
Yeah.
his thing is my thing is, he's never had he never got a naked call. So you have any naked calls?
You kidding me?
No.
Okay. Well,
need a naked. If you got it, we need to hear.
oh yeah, of course. I've had many of naked calls, and I'll tell you, one that I never thought was going to be a naked call. It was just came out as, I'm trying to figure out how to put it, civilian. I could use the codes easy. Suspicious person is the best way to put it. In the small department, you heard from the big department. I'll tell you the small little department where I was the seventh guy. Anyway, so we get a call, and it's the middle of winter. And in Florida, I know everybody picks on us and says it don't get cold. Let me tell you, as a Florida man, when it drops to like 28 degrees and we're on the bay, it's cold. You've got that night breeze coming in. It'll cut you. Either way, get a suspicious person way out in the middle of nowhere. And I knew where it was at. So I start heading that way. And when I arrive, let me kind of lay out the scene. I'm not sure if you got a shoreline, but it's not really a beach. It's kind of like trees. And then all of a sudden, you could essentially step between the trees and go fishing or whatever out into the salt water. But for the most part, most people don't. They just drive by that and go to the beach. Well, I see this individual, because it was just the only thing dispatch gave me was it's a white male.
That narrowed it down.
Right, a white Florida man. So either way, I get out there and I ask for a vehicle description because, of course, you got to get there, right? Because when I say it's way out, we're saying by car, 25 minutes to get there at the speed limit. So I get there and there's no cars, and I proceed to use my spotlight because here we are. It's in the middle of the night. It's cold. I ain't getting out and going to start yelling for people. So I hit this peach color, and I say, well, that's got to be the suspicious person. And when I say peach color is the reason I did. He wasn't wearing a T-shirt. The man wasn't wearing pants. He was starch naked, and there was no clothes anywhere near him. Of course, I called in, dispatch 1012 with white male, no clothing. So dispatch responds, laughing at this point, and goes just 10-4. And I approach. And at this point,
don't forget to pat him down for weapons.
I ended up never touching the guy. So I approach him and I hit him with, a flashlight. Of course, I still got the strobes on the cruiser and the spotlight on him at his back. And I approach and, excuse me, sir. And I stepped down to kind of a side to make sure he don't have nothing in his hands that was deadly, because I didn't know if his mental capacity was right or what. So, of course, I need to see his hands and what they're doing. Well, I stepped to his side, kind of along the tree line, and this man is beating his pud like it's going out of style, just stroking it. And I just kind of took me back for a second, and I said, excuse me, sir. Sir. Nothing. No response. So, of course, I keyed up. I was like, I think we're going to need medical transport. And the whole time I'm just yelling, sir, can you take a break from that for a minute and have a talk with me?
I'd have to have the radio key and say, sir, can you please remove your penis from your hands, please? And
I was trying to be professional. He was beating it like he's mad at it, buddy. It was it was something else. So at this point, my supervisor, because I was a rookie. First 2 years in, And the supervisor rolls up. Of course, he's laughing, and he walks over and goes, "Did you try to talk to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, Sarge. You watch, sir, sir." And I'm flashing the light in his face. Nothing. This dude is staring off into the wild blue yonder of the ocean, just beating it. And I mean, like, yeah. So he goes, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna wait on medical." So unfortunately, the bad thing about working in the boondocks is sometimes medical transport, especially for non-life threatening, can be 45 minutes to an hour.
No, we've
So for
gotten that call before. You call for, the ambulance service and like 10-4, they just call back. They have a 45-minute ETA, and you're like, fuck.
Right. And I love that when I really don't want to sit here and stare at this dude doing this for the next 45 minutes to an hour.
I mean, did he have some lotion? Because he's going to have no skin left.
No, he had no lotion. That's what I'm talking about. There wasn't no car. There wasn't no clothes. I don't know where his clothes were. He obviously didn't have no ID. I wasn't going to check the only place he could have hit it.
They wasn't filming a episode of Naked and Afraid out there.
That's what it seemed like. Like they just dropped this dude off on the side of the road, and he just kept going and going. And yeah, now keep in mind what I told you in the beginning. This is a 28-degree night on a coastline. So, like, for instance, I'm sure you can attest to the wind breeze you have.
Yeah. It probably felt like it was 10 degrees.
Right. So I'm standing there this is back when we had Crown Vics, the beautiful heat machines they are. So I was standing because I had my cruiser kind of pulled up to him. I was standing right up against the fender well, letting the heat from the engine keep my legs and hands warm. And finally, medical gets there, and they proceed to load this dude up. Now, they've got an EMT on both arms because I'm like, at this point, it's not really criminal. Nobody witnessed it. He didn't do it in front of a little kid. He obviously has some mental issues. Let's get him help. So they loaded him in a transport, and the only time he stopped pediddling himself was when they lifted him because he had to remove his hand. Well, they put him back in the ambulance.
Right back.
And he was right back at it. Now, this guy didn't say nothing. He never spoke to nobody. He never did anything. I still to this day don't know what happened to that man, but I do know I never seen him again.
I wonder if they put him in the hospital as under Jack Doe. So,
well, see, that's the thing is like the state of Florida, unfortunately, they did away with a lot of our mental health programs.
Oh, they did that in Louisiana also, mental health.
That's so crazy. You've got people like that need help and they can't get it.
That's why they're on the street now. If it's anything like
right.
Louisiana,
and now we get that
they shut. I remember because I used to work at one a very, very long time ago. Mental hospitals, state-run mental hospitals, well, I guess budget cuts or whatever, they shut all of them down. So basically, just let these people go because they wasn't in there for a crime; they were in there for mental issues. They just sent them home or whatever.
Right. And then we get to interact with them, and a lot of times it turns into a very negative interaction.
Yes.
And it's not our fault. We really want to see these people get help, but unfortunately, these states are making these decisions.
But I'm not going to let them kill me or hurt me in the process of it either.
That is correct. Absolutely. You always got to look after number one, yourself.
You hear it on the news all the time now. Well, that's up. He was having he had mental issues, or he was having a mental episode. Well, guess what? I mean, I'm sorry that the person's having a mental episode, but if they're having a mental episode that's violent towards me or somebody else going to get hurt, unfortunately, it ends up, somebody might get killed in that situation. And a lot of times it's the person having the break. But, I mean, what do you expect people to do? And, now they're talking about some of these big cities send social workers out. So now you're going to have the social worker hurt or dead, and the person with mental issues is going to end up hurt or dead or in prison for the rest of their life because that's not where they need to be anyway. But
absolutely,
send the social worker out there. It's going to be interesting. I'm carrying popcorn with me because it's going to be a show.
Yeah, all those mock videos up on social media are just about on point too. They think all you need to do is send one social worker to a domestic violence. Well, I could tell you, I've been to so many domestic violence calls, it ain't even funny. And I thank God every time that I make sure that my agency sends backup.
Well, so
because
that's
it's
some of the most dangerous calls you can go on domestic violence.
Yep, because obviously old man beat old girl, so she wanted the cops to come. But the minute you put old boy in handcuffs, she realizes that meal ticket's gone. So she starts to physically attack you, stab you, shoot you, whatever. And I did nothing to her.
Or you got
That's
the
domestic
guy.
violence.
You got the guy that's already having he's already done lost his temper or whatever, and he's having whatever issues he's having. And what I love is when, and I'll tell rookies, I don't really train rookies anymore, but I tell them, you hear it all the time. They're like, I used to hear, other cops or whatever, deputies and stuff say, or were there any weapons? Oh, no weapons reported. Well, first of all, if you go into someone's house, which
There's
I prefer to get them out of stuff, especially one of the most dangerous places in a house,
The kitchen
is the kitchen. Everything in there is a weapon.
Yep.
I want people out of their house. I want like, no, come outside, let's talk. Because first of all, I don't know what he's got hidden. He knows the layout of his house and everything. I want you outside. So, I mean,
right.
It's just, yes. But so when people's like, oh, no weapons involved. No, there's always a weapon involved. Because as soon as you show up, there's at least one, because you have a gun on your side, plus everything else you have on you. So there's
absolutely
always a weapon involved in every situation that you go to, because you bring a weapon with you. So don't ask if they say no, I know why sometimes, they're asking, does the person have a gun or a weapon? When I love it, oh, she says he don't have any guns. You know, this motherfucker went and bought one today. I assume, right. I don't ask, because I just assume everybody has a weapon. Just like every traffic stop I make, I assume there's a gun in every freaking car that I pull over.
Yep, same here, especially in Florida. There's a reason everybody pertains to us as these gunshine state.
Well, Louisiana.
Everybody down here's got one.
Well, in Louisiana, you don't have to have a permit or concealed carry or anything to have a gun in your car. And you can have a gun anywhere you want in your vehicle. You can mount it in your vehicle. You can have it anywhere in your glove compartment, your console. You have a gun anywhere you want in your vehicle in the state of Louisiana, and it's not illegal as long as you're not a convicted felon, because your car in Louisiana is considered an extension of your home. So I just assume every car I stop has a gun in it, at least one. So anyway.
Now,
so you had the old dude. He jacked off for that long. I mean, he must have been.
And you know what?
He might have been crazy.
I don't want to get too vulgar, but
he might have been crazy though. I'm thinking he might have been crazy.
But the dude never he didn't ejaculate.
That's what I'm saying. That might be why he was having a mental break. He might have been.
I guess it would drive me nuts if I beat it for an hour and it didn't do nothing.
He could have been going longer than that. I mean, he might have had a mental break that he couldn't ejaculate, and he just drove him crazy.
You're gonna kill me over here. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that.
Ejaculation mental. I don't know, but I'm just saying. I mean, I could see that driving a person crazy.
That drive me crazy. That's for sure.
Yeah,
be like, that's a little
broke.
too long.
No, it's like, I know you can touch it, feels good, you can play with it, but you never get to finish. It's like playing a game of Monopoly. You never finish.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'm 50 years old. I don't think I've ever finished a game of Monopoly.
Could you imagine, like, you found a genie bottle, and that was, you tell the genie, all right, well, I want the ability to always get excited whenever I want, and it goes away whenever I want as well. And they go, okay, done. But the one side effect after they do it is you can't get off.
No,
yeah, I mean, that would make you depressed.
That's being crazy. I mean, you just go crazy. That's probably what happened to him. That poor guy.
It could be.
He might still be in the hospital, still going. I mean, it's just no skin left on his penis, just a raw penis.
Yeah, it's got calluses now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got one big forearm.
Well, I don't think I told you. Speaking about mental health, crazy. Did I tell you that some woman stabbed the tires on my truck? Now, mind you, I didn't know who she was. This just happened. It's I'm a civilian now.
Did she
Did I
not get
tell you?
enough? Did she not get enough money back on her tax return?
No, it had nothing to do with work. And that's what I got irritated with. And I about choked her out because I was thinking, look, if I had a reason why you did it, I would understand. Like if one of my exes from 20 years ago found out where I lived and stabbed my tires, I would understand a little bit more than I did with this one. So she is crazy as a loon. All right. The neighbors, what they described to me is because they were out sitting around a bonfire in their front yard. And I know you're familiar with my truck. It's, it's lifted. I've got 36s on it. And I didn't know that she had stabbed everybody down the block's tires. All the way down the block. So it would be stab your tires, go to the neighbor's house, stab their tires, go to the neighbor's house, stab their tires. All while skipping down the block, singing Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Literally, the entire song while she's skipping, and between skips, she's just slashing tires.
No worries.
Well, so needless to say, what happens when you stab the side of a 100 PSI tire?
Oh, probably hissing pretty good.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a small M80 going off. It was loud. So that got everybody on the block's attention. And all of a sudden, my phone rings, the wife's rings, and everybody's screaming, this lady just stabbed your tires on your truck. Of course, I'm about to drink in, trying to relax for the evening, because it happened during the tax season. I work 12 to 14-hour days, so I was ready to relax. So I run out there, and all of a sudden, I just see my truck sinking on the right side that was facing the road. And I go out, and I see her progressing to stab all the neighbors' tires. Well, she wasn't just doing that. She was also throwing fingernail polish bottles at people's cars for no reason. Well, I called dispatch, and I ID'd myself and told them what was going on. And they advised me, of course, go back inside. Well, that's not going to happen because this lady, they'll never find her. She's walking off into the middle of nowhere. So I proactively follow her.
Oh, the
down the road.
dispatch didn't say we're sending somebody out. No worries.
No, they said, yeah, we're going to send an officer out. Go back inside and wait for the deputy there. In other words, we're just going to show up and report it.
Simba.
And I told him that she was proactively stabbing tires with about a good 4.5, 5-inch pocket knife.
You didn't tell her she was singing the Hakuna Matata?
Yeah, but it gets a lot better. So finally, I follow her, and we get to the corner. Not the corner of my block. We're talking 3 blocks over at this point in an abandoned gas station parking lot. And she finally turns around because she sees a large group of construction workers doing road work, and proceeds to start belittling me and telling me that she's not going to live in a cage anymore. I can't keep her locked in my garage like a pet. And I just kind of stopped, and I looked at my buddy and my wife because they were there. They came with me. And
you looked at your wife and said, I thought you blocked that.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't, because I just said, what the hell? And I said, ma'am, I don't even know you. I just want to know why you stabbed everybody on my neighborhood's block or my neighborhood's tires. You just cost a lot of people thousands of dollars for nothing. And she goes, because you were going to sell me to Pablo Escobar as part of your heroin trade. You were going to brand me with a swastika on the side of my neck. And I'm like, okay,
Jesus
this
Christ.
lady's loony. So I told my buddy.
We got the Germans selling stuff to the cartel.
Yeah. So I told my buddy that used to be a Leo with me. That's the guy that comes up and helps me for the tax season. I told him, I said, dude, you need to call back dispatch and tell them that she's completely signal 20, which is mentally ill, and she's armed with a knife, proactively holding it in her hand. And she started to walk towards me, and I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm telling you what.
We need we need a sociologist out here. We need a counselor.
Yeah, I told her, I said, ma'am, I don't believe in hitting women, but you keep coming at me with that knife in an aggressive manner, I'm gonna put you down. Of course, dispatch heard that, so they expedited the officers.
Yeah, now they actually turned their lights and sirens.
Right, exactly. In the meantime, the construction workers come over, and they're like, is this man trying to bother you? And that kind of sent me. I just told him, I said, dude, she's armed with a knife. She's crazy as a loon. and stabbed every tire in my entire neighborhood over here. We're just waiting for the police. And of course, she starts telling them, skinhead association, living in a cage. And they're like, you can stand with us. We'll keep you safe. And I just said, that's fine. We'll wait on the deputies.
Yeah, just stand by them.
Yeah, don't stand by me. It's a good way to
she
get
thinks one of those happened to be Hitler and stabs him in the gut. Yeah, go stand by them.
Yeah. So they did. And of course, the 2 deputies arrived very shortly after and immediately go over to her and just take her knife out of her hand. They didn't draw their weapons or nothing. They knew. I don't know if they knew who she was, but
it must have been a frequent flyer. Local Looney Tune or something.
Exactly. So she handed it over. And I asked the deputy when she was in the back of the car, I said, what took you so long? And he goes, oh, it came out as a suspicious person. I said, are you serious? She was armed with a knife and verbally aggressive. So she definitely could have ended anybody out here. And he goes, yeah, that's dispatch for you. Wow.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I won't talk bad about dispatchers, but some of them could, do better sometimes. It's like,
oh, yeah, no, I love dispatch, especially because some of them always made the best cookies. Oh, my God. Yeah. But that was it was wild. She went to jail. I had to give all the video footage to the deputies, and it was funny because when we were sitting there watching the replay, because I've got something like 36 security cameras on my house, and I've got.
But what's bad with somebody like that? She's nuts and probably ain't got nothing, so you still got to buy.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, I later found out one of the neighbors felt bad for her and let her put a tent in their backyard. And
so let's let the homeless crazy lady.
Yeah. So she's currently locked up. I mean, they even ROR'd her, and she's still at the county jail. So I don't know what the deal with that is. They have her in for a mental review, but all that's going to do is let her off with the charge. But I told the judge flat out, what's the point of going after her for restitution? She's not going to come up with $1,000 to pay me back for my tires. Just make her serve a little bit of time and whatever. She's, paid her debt to society.
I'm sure one of the construction workers got her phone number so they can go out after.
Yeah. Well, shoot, this happened like February. She's still locked up for that.
Well, it's probably the best place for her right now. I mean, at least she's got somewhere to sleep and food.
Right. Because let's think about it. I mean, if somebody walked up in your yard with a knife and then came after you personally, just as a civilian, screw the fact that you got a badge. If you're a civilian and somebody slashes your tires and then walks towards you with a knife in their hand,
good chance you might catch. You probably gonna catch some lead.
Right. In most states, that automatically, I can pretty much define that's a deadly force right there. She's intending harm on you at that point. I had to do what I had to do. But I didn't go that route. Thank God. I already had a drink, so I left it at home. I didn't want it to.
Well, hell, I don't even walk my dogs in my own yard without a gun in my pocket. I've been a cop for almost 30 years. I got a lot of people out there that don't fucking like me and shit. You just never know when somebody's going to, grow a set of nuts and decide, oh, that's that fucker, and pull up in my yard or whatever. Just people are just fucking crazy out there nowadays, period. I walk my dogs with a fucking pistol in my pocket just in case.
Yeah, I mow my grass with a Glock on my head.
I mean,
but just that night, I just said no because I'd already been drinking. I didn't want to, be pushed over the edge and do something I'd, go against. So my other buddy that was with me, he was armed, and I know that if she would have rushed,
tell your wife next time to keep the damn cage door locked and she won't get out.
Exactly, can't let them people out. We got to protect Pablo Escobar. I don't know. Yeah,
ain't he dead? Didn't that? That's the one.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
The narco guy, the CIA guys or whatever killed him or whatever.
No, that was the other one. Pablo Escobar, I think, because I watched that documentary or whatever. He was killed down there.
Yeah, I watched narco. One of them narco movies.
Yeah, it's good, but I tell you what, I can't watch it when I'm drinking because I hate reading things.
Oh yeah. Well, I watched that movie along the old Mel Gibson movie, Jesus Christ or whatever.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, Passion of the Christ, and you have to read the entire movie, and
Right, so now you got to watch it twice to see what you missed while you were reading.
Well, left. I think I actually saw it in the movie theater. So I left with one of the biggest fucking headaches I've ever had in my entire life from reading all that crap. It was just, it's too much. It's too much. I should have done it in English.
Yeah. I know. I get what they're trying to go for originality.
I understand that also, but I'm more busy reading than I'm paying attention to, what's going on.
Right.
So,
I prefer to watch a movie, even if, put the language in the language of the viewer.
no, I know what you like to do. You like to watch the Spanish channel
Telemundo
news reporter girls.
Yeah. I always love it when their outfits. I'm like, you couldn't get away with that inside the United States. There's no way. These girls are looking like they're ready to go on a dance club.
I got a buddy. He's retired now, but he used to watch this shit. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? I said, you don't even speak Spanish. He's like, don't have a clue what they're saying, but damn, she looks good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely it. All right, I know you have more stories, but stand by. I'm at an hour. So we're gonna close this one out. We'll take a quick break. We're gonna see if we're gonna do a part 2 or not. So, as always, tell everybody at the end. If you're law enforcement, first responder, veteran, military, whatever, nurse. If you have some funny stories you'd like to tell, email me, MotorCopChronicles@gmail. Hit me up on Facebook, MotorCop Chronicles Podcast. I'm on YouTube. I do have a Twitter account @MotorC. I have a Parler. I've got to see if it's reactivated. I have been putting videos up on Rumble. Also, like and subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch live shows on Wednesdays. Sometimes I do these live. And to remember to always smile, because the Iceman could be behind you.
I'm cranking up on the throttle. This